My name is Chris Cluer. I started with Churches Together way back in 2007, leading it then, and have then handed over to Mark Oliver as chair. But I didn't leave the team. I took a sidestep, and my role changed from chairing Churches Together to doing Churches Together in Plymouth/City. And it's been my delight to keep on working with the city. And so to bring you up to date a bit on that gave me opportunity to get alongside Plymouth Chief of Police, which was Chief Superintendent Matt Longman until very recently, and ask him if I could bring 15 leaders along to his conference room where he meets with his senior management team every morning to talk about policing in the city. And we occupied that space, that conference room, with 15 leaders to have a real time of open exchange with the Chief of Police in the city and then pray for him. And that was a very valuable thing to do. And then on from that, we spoke to Tudor Evans and said, we'd love to pray with you and hear from you as well. And we went into the council chamber, and there was about 45 people gathered that day. And Tudor Evans shared his heart for the city and the issues there were. And then we were able to pray for Tudor as well. Well, one of the people, I think it was that day, Jemima, that I met Jemima Lang. Well, we've done one better than Tudor this year. He was here last year. We've got his deputy. And she's great. So Jemima Lang carries not only being deputy leader of the council, but also has a portfolio particularly about children's work. And interesting that we've got Josh as our speaker today, really wanting to engage with youth. We've heard from Wendy and Safe Families. So there's something going on here. And Jemima shared with us that day, and I thought we'd really like to hear from her again. So would you like to give a welcome to the Deputy Leader of the Council, Jemima Lang? Bless you. Jemima is recovering from a broken leg, so she's going to stay right there and address us from there. Bless you. Over to you, Jemima.
I'm just so pleased to have been given this chance to speak to so many people, and I thought, how best could I use this slot? And I think talking about fostering and how we've improved our offer to foster carers and what we're trying to do to develop our in-house fostering service at the council would be the best use of my time. So I am very, very grateful to you for giving me this slot. And it's nice to see some familiar faces, but obviously lots of people I don't yet know. So I'm going to fill you in a little bit about the background. Some of you may be foster carers and know a lot about it, and please forgive me if I'm teaching you to suck eggs. But for those who don't know about that bit of work that we do in the council, if you just indulge me for 5 minutes, I'll fill you in. So Plymouth City Council currently care for 514 children and young people, and for various reasons they're not able to live safely with their birth families. This might be because of an emergency, a short-term arrangement while the family is supported to make the necessary changes, or a more long-term situation until the young person reaches adulthood. And for many of these children and young people, life's been really, really difficult, and they will have experienced harm, adverse childhood experiences and trauma. They're also experiencing the sadness of being separated from their family, and for some facing changes of school, loss of community, friends, because of having to move away from Plymouth. We strongly believe that our children and young people should, wherever possible, grow up in a family setting with foster carers as close as possible to their home area in order to maintain relationships, stay in the same school and access their social worker and other health and therapeutic services. Foster for Plymouth is, excuse me, I'm a bit croaky. Foster for Plymouth is Plymouth City Council's in-house fostering team, which is a really supportive and motivated team who recruit, assess and support our foster carers. I don't know if you know how the system works, but we have obviously local authority in-house foster carers and also foster carers who care through independent fostering agencies, but we do not have enough foster carers in the city, which means that sometimes young people have to leave the city, go into residential placements that aren't here, and then all the things I mentioned, leaving their school, their friends, their support network. Sometimes it is appropriate for a young person not to be in Plymouth. There might be a safeguarding reason for that, but most of the time it is better for them to be here. So we are working so hard. We've started in January with a foster carers summit we had 50 foster carers come into the council for the day to tell us what we were doing well, but more importantly, what we needed to do better, what we needed to do to retain them as foster carers, what we needed to do to recruit more in-house foster carers. And they were brutally honest with us, and it was very, very helpful, because we went away and formulated most of what they told us into a new package, which I'll talk about in a minute. This resulted in a new and improved support and retention offer with our foster carers. And what we looked at was things that we could do as a council that independent fostering agencies can't do. You get a free life centre pass, for instance, if you're a foster carer. We're working with other businesses in the city, things that we'll be announcing soon, who are going to give us free passes to attractions and things like that. The summer sessions, we gave away tickets to a lot of our foster carers, and they were able to bring the young people that they care for. And the fireworks championships, for instance, we've created a new award, which is the Young People's Award, and the young people come, 10 young people and their foster families come to both nights of the championships, and they choose their own winner and award the winners with a trophy, and that's been a brilliant thing. So it's things like that that we're trying to do, our kind of USP, I suppose, that independent fostering agencies can't offer. And one of the really important things that foster carers told us was, A, that fostering allowances should be increased, which we completely agreed with. And also there is a council tax allowance alongside that. So if you're a Plymouth City Council foster carer, you don't pay council tax. There are caveats around it, but in general, you won't pay council tax. And alongside this is a comprehensive support and retention offer called Our Commitment to You, which commits to good communication, practical and emotional support, and continuous training and development. And that's another thing that foster carers told us, because, you know, we're not approaching this that we can just throw money at it, because the kind of people that want to be foster carers aren't doing it for the money. But by the same token, everybody is living in a cost of living crisis, rising bills, etc. And our allowances needed to reflect that. But more importantly than the money, foster carers told us that actually it was about support. It was about being able to pick up the phone if you were having a tricky day, and being able to get immediate and impactful support, both for you and for the young person that is living with you. And we've really listened to that and really strengthened our offer around that. We've also launched a very exciting development called the Mockingbird Constellation. I don't know if any of you have heard about that. It's an evidence-based model of fostering, which is led by the Fostering Network, and it's structured around the support and relationships that an extended family provides. It looks to replicate that support. So the model nurtures the relationships between children, young people and foster families, supporting them to build a resilient and caring community that offers vital peer support and guidance alongside social activities and sleepovers. So again, you could be a foster carer and wake up one day and you've had a difficult night. There is a fostering hub, and you can go to the hub with your young person. There will be 2 foster carers there who don't have a child living with them permanently, but they will have the child for the day, and they will all be known to each other. So this won't be anything stressful or upsetting for the young person. It's replicating that family model, the way that we reach out for support to our families and close friends when we need it. And we're really excited to have launched our first constellation here in Plymouth. It really empowers families to support each other and overcome problems before they escalate, and offers children a much more positive experience of care. So what am I asking of you? What can you offer? I've got this written down because they were very keen that I get it right. You know, there might be people in the room who are already foster carers or who are interested in fostering. So I'm just asking you to get in touch with the team if that's you. We know that the decision to become a foster carer happens, you know, much earlier than it takes to become a foster carer. It can take years for that kind of first penny to drop and think, this is something I think I might be interested in. And if that is you, I would urge you to start a conversation with the Foster for Plymouth team. We also have an incredible film, which I'm thinking now I should have worked out some way of showing here, but I will put it on my social media, and it is on our, Foster for Plymouth is on everything. If you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Twitter, I don't know if we're on blue sky yet, but I'm sure that that's where everyone seems to be going. But actually, if any of you in your individual roles would like to host a Foster for Plymouth team to come and talk to the people that you spend time with and work with, we'd be more than happy to do that. It's about talking to your friends, to your family, to your colleagues, and wider networks about what you've heard from me today. Finding out, passing the message on, you're really helping us to reach potential foster carers. And I'm conscious that I've talked very much about the mechanics and the practicality, but please be assured that every day that I do this job, the children that we're talking about are first and foremost in my mind and what is best for them. And we know that when we have to intervene in this way, if we can keep them in Plymouth and not turn their life upside down so completely that they leave their school, their friends, their hobbies, their interests, their support networks, and the familiarity of a life in a certain place, then we know that our interventions can be much more powerful and impactful and lead to them having the best futures that they can. So I'm really grateful to you for listening to me. If you have a conversation with somebody and you think, oh, hang on a minute, I think you might be interested. As I said, Foster for Plymouth is everywhere, and just Google us and we'll come up. Thank you ever so much. Thank you.